I've already tried. I'd heard that Danica Pure Spring is the most powerful healer in all of Skyrim, but she couldn't help me. I know now it's my destiny to die. That's why Archaea guided us here. Divines be with you.
The civil... Oh, bless the divines, you came! Well met, and welcome. We have much to discuss. Will you tell me, what happened at Helgen? Well, no, now that you mention it. Then it's as I feared. My brother and his family are lost. Gods damn it all. I'd hoped for better news. Yes, I've heard the fort is full of them. But appearances can also be deceiving. If I'm right, these are no bandits at all. I have it on good authority there is a man known only as Val inside the keep. He's the leader of a small group of mercenaries, for lack of a better term. Their aim is to kill Thalmor wherever they're found. That they've come out of hiding is beyond mysterious. They're insurrectionists. A resistance movement, if you will. His name is Valerius Tiberius Artoria. We served for many years together in the Imperial Legion, as captains under Titus Mede II during the Great War. He was a good man in those days, an honorable man. Then the Aldmeri invaded, and murdered his wife, son, and daughter in cold blood. They marched them down the streets of the Imperial City and tortured them until they were dead, right in front of the Imperial Palace itself. They said, "Let it be known that any family members of Imperial officers found anywhere else in the province would receive a similar fate." There were many such atrocities committed by those wretched maggots within those walls, and even more unspeakable tragedies in the rest of Cyrodiil. We were under orders to flee the city for Skyrim when they invaded. We left our people, our families, defenseless. Most did not survive. The few that did make it out of there were scattered as refugees throughout the rest of the province. The plan was to regroup here in Skyrim, rest and resupply our forces, and return to the Imperial City to retake it. That took almost a year. Surely you know the history. If not, this book will help you understand a little of what we went through. When we finally returned to the city, there wasn't much left. We split our forces, and I led the charge from the southern waterfront district, while Valerius attacked from the west. March right down to the main gate and knock on the door, he said. The man had guts, that's for sure. After we retook the city, he started to change. He knew his family was gone, but when he learned that they were tortured in the streets, he went mad and vowed to avenge their deaths. He started conducting covert operations that were unknown even to me, his closest friend. He took a handful of his most loyal men and began assassinating Aldmeri officers and diplomats, wherever he could find them. Of course, all of this was without knowledge or consent from our commanders. When they were caught, well, let's just say justice was swift. But the Aldmeri feared making a martyr out of him, as they knew the people were aware of his family's torture and murder. No, but under pressure from the Thalmor, Titus locked him and his men away in the Imperial prison for the rest of their lives. Soon after, I decided my service had come to its end, and retired from the Legion. But you don't get to be a captain and not accumulate a few favors. Well, yes and no. I wasn't actually involved in the operation, but a young lieutenant who served under me was stationed there after I retired. And he found an ancient passage out of the prison that had long been forgotten about. We always heard the stories about it from ages ago, but none of us believed they were true, and dismissed them as fairy tales. But they were true, and Lieutenant Buckingsley found the passage. So, on a dark and stormy night, Buckingsley quietly slipped a key into Valerius' cell, and created a diversion, which bought Val enough time to escape. They went straight away to Hammerfell, to join the Redguard rebellion against the Aldmeri Dominion. It was rumored a secret brotherhood who called itself the Keepers of Hatu was formed, after the signing of the Second Treaty of Stros Makai. Most people passed these rumors off as baseless gossip, but the name Hatu always had intrigued me. Hatu was the mountain where the Redguard hero Frandar Hunding and his sword singers made their final stand against the armies of Hera. It was a bloody battle in their history, but their victory led them to a new land they named Hammerfell, which began the modern-day Redguard society. Here, I brought a few of my old books along just to refresh my memory. Perhaps you'd like to study them, if you're interested in history. You may read them at your leisure. Where were we? Oh, yes, the name is a metaphor, meant to imply a final stand, much the same as the one Frandar made at Hatu Mountain. It was also widely known that this brotherhood was made of all races, all united in a singular cause under the banner of the Hammer and Anvil. Yes, I see you've been listening. Not only defeat them, though. That would not be enough. But to cleanse Tamriel of the Thalmor and their racist Aldmeri Dominion forever. Yes, interesting, isn't it? I've heard the name Valerius Artoria associated with them on more than one occasion. First, who better to lead such an organization than someone as skilled in warfare as he? Second, who better to intimidate your enemy than a legend well known as an assassin of their kind, even if he were dead? And if he is still alive, and his men still serve with him, it seems logical that they would return to Skyrim along with the Thalmor. I need you to go try and talk to Valerius. Reason with him. Tell him Marcus Janus requests a meeting with him. Tell him I'll come to the fort alone. Present company excluded, of course. Give this ring to him. It was his wife's wedding band. If any of his men try to accost you, show it to them and tell them it is a gesture of goodwill from me. They'll give you quarter if they know I sent you. Approach the guards and show them the ring. Tell them Marcus Janus sent you to see Valerius Tiberius Artoria on urgent business. Show them this note with my seal, but tell them it's for Valerius. His eyes only. Please, return to me as soon as you can. I'll prepare to leave and be ready to go when you return. Make haste, young one, and may fortune favor the foolish.
Dragon.